Everyone has had a great evening, great week. It has been a long week. Lots of stuff going on, lots of crazy things. Tonight, let's just breathe it in, hang out, have some fun, chat it up a little bit, get your favorite coffee together. Oh, I got mine. Needed the strong stuff tonight, doing the Pike's Place, and it is delicious. Hello, everyone. Hey, Frankie. Hey, Marty. Hey, Connie, Lorraine. Hey, Sue, Alice, Pinch Runner. Hello, guys. PA Lady, thank you very much for the card. Me and Jessica loved it. Thank you so much, and thank you for the treat inside. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I was hoping you would be on tonight so that I could thank you. Oh, hey, Roby. Hey, McCavian. Hope I said that right. Mr. Cavern. Mr. Cavern. Belinda, hello. Hello, Joyce. Hope everybody's having a great week. I know we got a pretty big response from the public service announcement that I put out yesterday. I felt it was important to let everybody know. We have a lot of viewers from Cincinnati and a lot of viewers that are along the Ohio River, and I thought it was kind of important to not only show, our love and support for those in East Palestine because it was a traumatic event for them. It still is. I feel like right about 2 weeks later, people are finally starting to take notice of it, and it was a lot worse than I think people made it out to be. And, I was listening to some reports today on Cincinnati Radio, 700 WLW. If you're familiar, I was listening to Scott Sloan this morning, and he had someone on, a person who works with waterworks and stuff with Cincinnati, and they assure us that the water will be fine. That they're tracking for it. They are. They have chemists that are out in the water 24 hours a day right now, testing the water coming through Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I don't know if many people know, and I probably should have mentioned this, but we are like number one in the world for water filtration. Now, when it comes to things like this, some of the chemicals that were spilled out into the creeks and waters, and I know everybody's been watching some of the videos up there. We even had our state senator, J.D. Vance, up in Palestine earlier yesterday, and he was messing around with some creeks and throwing rocks in the water, and you could see rainbows in the water, kind of that look like oil has, and it looks terrible. And Trisha Mackey from Channel 19 News was also up there, and she was kind of doing the same thing. She was throwing rocks in some of the creeks and waterbeds, and you could see just rainbows scattering out. So, whether you could have the greatest filtration system in the world, it's still good to take precautions. Still good to take precautions. We are pretty loaded down on water. And again, I wasn't trying to freak nobody out or anything. Just trying to let everyone on here know, our YouTube family and people beyond, that this is coming down the Ohio River. And, whether it's a small amount, whether it's a large amount, it's an amount. And the only thing that we're getting, I hate, it shouldn't be. Right? We were talking about this in yesterday's video, that it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. Well, shouldn't be isn't definite. It's not 100% not a problem. So, I always say it's good to prepare a little bit, good to stock up on some things, so that in case any kind of event, you're a little more prepared. Water being a big one right now because we don't know how it's going to work out, and not knowing is kind of the scary thing, so it's like we're set on water and stuff like that. We are loaded down. I even got some more today just to have some extra more at Kroger. Also, if you do need water, Kroger has their purified water on sale right now on a digital coupon for $2.49 for a 24 pack. And that's about the cheapest I've found it anywhere. So just let that out there. But kind of wanted to talk about this just for a couple minutes so that for those of you who may have missed yesterday's public service announcement, as people are calling it, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I find it even crazier that we didn't start hearing about this for like a week. I mean, we heard about it on the news, but they just blew it off like it was no big deal. Well, now, thanks to social media and some other things, now all the news is up there covering this. We even had our state senator up there covering this, and one of the more popular news anchors in Cincinnati covering this. So I mean, it's good that they, and they have our support. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in East Palestine, uncalled for. Some of the stuff just kind of sounds very, very idiotic to me, and it kind of, it's kind of been stressing me out a little bit. So they're supposed to be having some heavy rain right now. And they're saying that heavy rain mixed with the chemicals that you controlled an explosion up in the air is going to cause a lot of this stuff to rain back down. Now, I don't know, I haven't heard many stories on this, but I know if this was right around my neighborhood and it was a possibility of it stirring up and getting around, I'd stay in my house. Maybe have some kind of airflow, something, something. I really don't know. That's the shameful thing in this, is that we have no answers, and all the answers that we got were like, after a couple days of them blowing this into the air, they're being told it's okay to go back home. Like, I just, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to go in too deep here, but one of the chemicals, the one that turns into hydrochloride, right? As it, and that's, I guess that was the whole goal. One of these chemicals, the vinyl chloride, was the one of the gases used in World War I. I've been doing a little bit of research on this because I wanted to find out, what kind of chemicals are these? What can they do? And it's like, a gas that was used in World War I, right? A toxic gas. What do we use that for? What do we use that for? Let me know down in the comments if you know. I got kind of sick of doing it. I had to do, our normal trip today at Kroger. I wanted to cover a lot of things that might be some good staples to stock up on at Kroger. So make sure you check that video out. That will come out at 8:30 in the morning. It's crazy. I feel so bad for everybody up there. And it's like they're talking about it all sinking into the soil and the ground. It doesn't look like much is really being done. And it's sickening. It really is. And I don't know. I don't know. And they say they're testing and all this stuff, and tests are coming back good. Then you hear that they're not testing, and it's like, we don't know who to believe. We don't know who to believe. Believe in yourself. We've gotten a few comments say, trust in your gut. I absolutely agree with you. Trust in your gut feeling. And if you feel like you have to get away from that area, which if it was me, I'm just telling you right now, if it was me and Jessica would be far away from there. We would be like, we would just stay with family somewhere else. We're fortunate to have family pretty much all over the country, so we could move around if we had to for a few days, or at least until, and they're talking about putting a barrier, like barriers around where the track is for the rain tonight so that it doesn't spread out. It's sinking into the ground. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out either. Sorry, I was debating whether I wanted to kind of dive into this tonight or not, but we got an enormous response from the video I put out last night. I feel like I had to say something. As much as I've never really cared to watch the news on anything, I've never really been a big news guy. It's basically what I do. I cover the news in the grocery stores. We cover things in a way to where we can help each other, to try and save each other money, because the last couple years, it's been a nightmare in the grocery stores. I see people every day that can barely afford to eat, right? And I don't like to get all, it's hard. It's hard, and people come up to me more and more people are coming up to me all the time now, saying, "Danno, you help us out so much," and I had a guy today asking me questions, where some things were. Another lady that knew me from the channel was asking me what microwave meals were on sale. I told her about Healthy Choice, stuff like that, just simple things. But it's like people are doing everything they can to save as much money as they can, and I thank you all who have come up to me. And I know there are some of you who have commented later that you saw me and stuff. Don't be afraid to come up and say hello. Even if I'm filming or doing something, I do not mind. I will always say hi and chat with you for a minute. And sometimes I'm pretty busy, but that doesn't matter to me. I will always put the camera down to talk to a fan or if anybody needs help. And if you need help through the grocery stores, that's why we always say leave in the comments. Comments on YouTube is virtually the fastest way that I can respond to you. I would not send me an email. I'm getting so many emails a day. It's just very hard to focus on that and focus on the comment section as well. So it's like, yeah, if you have questions and stuff like that, we have a lot of people in our YouTube family that have been answering questions in the comments. And if I skim over these things, because we have so many people on the channel, I try to respond as much as I can. But if I notice that one of our other viewers is answering the questions, I'll just let it go because you got your answer. It was kind of the whole point, or the whole kind of thing when we were building this YouTube channel. It's kind of what we wanted, especially for the situation that we've been in, and I appreciate everyone who thanked me for covering some of this story. And it's hard for me to kind of do something like this because I don't, I hate when I see a comment saying, oh, you're doing this to get views. You're doing this to get views. If you've been watching my channel for the last 3 years that we've been on here, you will know that that is not the case. We are here to help people any way we can, and that's what we are about. And frankly, I think it's funny that I have come to the realization that I am kind of the news. It's the things that I have kind of prided myself on not watching all these years. I mean, I pay attention to. Excuse me. But, at the same time, I feel like, I don't want to bore people, but I also don't want people to not know. You would not believe all of our viewers on here last night that had no idea any of this was going on. I believe Erica right here. Erica, I believe you were one of them. You had no idea about it. And it's like, that is a shame. That is a shame that they're putting it out here now. So you've probably seen some stuff on TV here the last couple days. But up until, it was like, I have been thinking about doing a video like that for like the past week because I'm thinking to myself, nobody is talking about this. And it's like, this is these poor people, and poor is the key word here. It is they are not very well off in that town. And I can only imagine trying to escape, trying to get out of there. And it seems like nobody wanted to help them. Of course, we're hearing things now, but even when I listen to some of our leaders and everything, I'm hearing things that are like, okay, well, if it's safe, you drink the water. You do it. You're telling everybody it's safe to drink the water. Okay, I want to see you go. I will pour you a nice cold glass of water out of my faucet, but I want to see you drink it. And let me take a picture of it so I can show it to everybody. Really, really sickening. And the thing is it's just, and the same people that are saying it's okay to go back in your house are the same people that are out there in hazmat suits. I mean, it's just, it's an eye opener. It really is. And sometimes we don't notice these things until it hits home, and it's like, well, whatever state you live in, wherever you are in the world right now watching us here, that when something happens around you, it affects you more. And that's not because you don't care. It's not because you don't care. It's because it doesn't directly affect you. You feel bad for everyone. You feel terrible. And you may even be able to go out of your way to help people. I mean, there are fundraisers and all kinds of things going on right now to where you can help out some of these people. I saw one on Facebook. I can't remember the name of it, but there are a few of them out there. But I guess kind of my point is that until you're directly involved, until it's affected a family member of yours or something that has really hit home, it's hard to really put yourself in that position. If I'd seen that controlled explosion, that thing looked like a nuclear bomb going up in the air. Watch it on the videos. It's all over the news now. Watch it. I mean, and these are some of the most dangerous chemicals on the planet. I mean, it's just like, this is ridiculous. And, something needs to be done about this in the future. Our infrastructure for our train systems, I don't know how they are. I hear they're bad, considering that there's been over 1,000 train derailments in the last year or so. I'd say they're pretty bad. And I think something needs to be done about it. There was a bill that was supposed to be passed, like, I don't know, so many $100 billion, $1 trillion that was supposed to be being put into this. And it's not. It's not like a small percentage, like 5 million has been put in. Now, this is what I've been hearing on the news. So, it's like things change every day. People lie. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is stuff that I've heard on the news, and we can only take that so far. But these are the things that we're hearing, and it's like, this is crazy. We should not be in this kind of position. Now, we've had a few of you come on here. We have a lot of viewers from Detroit, Michigan. This is new to me. I just found this out about an hour ago, so I know nothing about it. But apparently, another train derailed in Detroit, Michigan. So we're gonna figure out what's going on with that. And again, if you know answers to a lot of these questions, make sure you let us know down in the comments. I I one thing, and the reason why I don't really cover like a lot of news stuff, like if I was a news reporter, I would be having sources and stuff like that, because I would want you to see what I'm reading. A lot of this stuff is coming up in YouTube videos and other, news stations and stuff like that. That is kind of why I have kind of prided myself on the way that we handle these kind of news situations in the grocery stores. I show you exactly what's going on. I explain it, but that's the evidence of what I look at. Like, this is it. I am here. You can see it for yourself. You can see it with your own eyes, because seeing is believing, and that's what I've always been about. And that's why it's like, whenever I talk about this stuff, like this, like the whole Detroit thing, I know nothing about it, but I know we've gotten a lot of comments on it. I haven't even seen anything on the news yet about it or anything, so it's something we'll have to look into. There were a lot of things going on today. There was a terrible wreck down the road from here. I don't even know. They had our road shut down for like 5 or 6 hours. You could not even get through. There was a van. I don't know how fast this van was going, but it just obliterated into a telephone pole. So I was stuck for a while trying to get back, but I was able to circle myself around. People were making U-turns and stuff like that, and it's like couldn't go anywhere because the traffic was just so backed up. You just couldn't do anything. But so I was dealing with that a lot. But, as far as the situation down the Ohio River, absolutely. I would definitely make sure you pick up some water. And you guys know that I never encourage to panic buy. We got a couple comments like, oh, people are going to go, it's going to be just like the toilet paper and all that. Well, I mean, it is what it is. If you're getting your water source from a source of any water that's going to be coming down to the Ohio River, I would recommend just getting water. Maybe not buy them out, buy two here, buy a couple here. We were pretty loaded down on water to begin with, so I wasn't as worried about it. But as I go to the store, if I see if there's like 3 or 4 left, I'm saving that for somebody else. We are loaded down on water, so I don't, it's like I'm like, nope, somebody's going to need that. I saw so many people today. A lady had thanked me for letting her know about the water. She had like 5 of them in her cart, but they had tons. It's like, I feel like Kroger knew this was going to happen. I really do, because we're seeing aisles that have water in it that usually don't, and I thought that was kind of funny. We were seeing jugs of water kind of being pushed toward another area. I didn't know where they were at Kroger Marketplace today, and then I saw they had them all like lined up around this whole middle section, which was good to see. I mean, this is all over the news now. Everybody, a lot of people around here listen to 700 WLW. That is where I heard it from. And then there was another news station that was talking about it. Everybody's saying it's fine. The filtrate, they are actually going to close the intake But I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow, but they're going to close the intake for the Cincinnati water, and that's coming straight from Waterworks. So, and that is just an extra precaution. They said they don't have to. They said that this will be fine. That the calculations were pretty much non-existent. There is a lot of bad things that go through the Ohio River. I know even growing up as a kid, everyone has always said if you catch a fish in the Ohio River, don't eat it. And I wouldn't. I mean, it's nasty. You know, it's nasty. And you know, and I know Cincinnati, #1 in the world. Apparently, still. I had heard this 20 something years ago, but apparently, still, they've got some of the greatest water filtration systems, and then backup after backup after backup systems. I mean, the water is really clean here, so I mean, I'm sure they're on top of it, but still, I'm taking precautions. And it's like with reading about what some of these chemicals were, and I'm not going to dive into it. You can look them up online, you can Google it, but I mean, have a strong stomach, because there are a lot of things with these chemicals, that are I know one of them's used to make plastic, so that's part of one. But it's just I don't know how something like that happens, and then what killed me too was the silliness in how this situation took place. Like, you cause a controlled explosion and you literally allow a spillway for the rest of the chemicals and stuff to go. Like, how does that work? Like, they were saying that somebody was saying that there was some kind of drums, like plastic drums, that they could have used for that and filtered it that way. And again, I like I said, all I'm saying is what I've heard. So there's no, this is from videos, a little bit of research on Google, and what I've heard on the news. So, just wanted to mention this stuff tonight, especially for those who may have missed it. I bring it up a little bit again in the video tomorrow, just to direct people who only watch, we have people that only watch our Kroger videos. So, and that's fine. That's fine. That's why we go to Kroger's a couple times a week, because we have so many people on the channel here that shop at Kroger. I want to make sure that you guys are always getting the right deals, the best deals that you can possibly get. Another thing too, and one thing I noticed today at Kroger that I've been noticing at a lot of Krogers, usually Kroger Marketplace is pretty good for this, but I've been seeing a lot of items that are on the digital coupons that they don't have up. Like, I mean, it's Friday. The deal starts on Wednesday. You should have these up by now. And I saw a few today. That's why I always talk about doing the digital coupons at home, when you got time to just kind of look over them. And I know some people don't have a lot of time. But, if you're in the store, and I actually, not today, but a couple days ago when I was at Kroger, I was in the freezer section, and I was getting no service on my phone. Anytime you're near a freezer section, and if you want to scan a QR code, which I don't do it like that anyway, I just go in the app and then I'll search for it and click the coupon. Sometimes I'll do the QR code just to make sure my phone can still do it. But a couple days ago, I wasn't able to do that because I was in a freezer section that I had no service, none. So I couldn't even do it on the app. So it's something to think about. All right, we'll get to a few comments here. Not doing a very long live show tonight. I wanted to talk about this for a little bit. I do have some other editing and stuff that I have to finish on the Kroger video, but I'll get to some comments here. Let's see. And again, I will not get into any politics of it or anything like that. I stay out of that. What is happening is this is a unified problem. This is a problem that, I don't care who you are, needs to get fixed, not by any means necessary. These are things that, things that aren't happening are happening because nobody wants to deal with it. That's what this is. And hearing about all these other ones that have happened, it seems like, even though they may not have been as serious, and I don't know how it could not be serious. I mean, any train that flies off the tracks is a serious, Oh, Cheap Laugh Kennedy, hello. Need to move to the Swiss Alps. Well, they got trains too. And they go straight up and down. Yeah, I don't know, Wayne. That's the thing. It's like we can't. I've never been the one to play the blame game. Okay, I'm always the one that says, "Who cares? Fix it. Fix the problem." And if it would have been me in charge, I would have fixed this problem when it first came up. Like, why is it taking it this long? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Hello, Charmania. Yes. That's strange, Rob. Rob and Sumner. Yeah, I thought about doing that myself. And you know what? I may actually do something like that this weekend, just to kind of check, and see what some of the water looks like around here, just to see. I know a couple spots that I could go to, some inlet spots that actually come off of the Ohio River. Because see, so in the Ohio River and pretty much every river, if you've been down any river, you know that there's always little inlets, right? Some of the best fishing spots are inlets off of a river because it's a little spot, maybe that comes like from a creek or something, but there's always a spot when the water rises, there's going to be a still. Right? There's going to be a little spot that, it's like, hey, I can fish here, and I don't have a big, huge current that's going to, Ohio River's known for having garfish. I have fished in the Ohio River a lot when I was younger. My buddy caught a garfish one time, and it about dragged him all the way down the river. I mean, that thing was, it was huge. I mean, if you've ever seen a garfish, it looks like an alligator fish. Like it's got the sharp teeth and everything. Like, and those are ones you want to be careful. You definitely don't want to stick your hand near their mouth. You want to make sure that you have like, a good glove and some pliers to get the hook out. But anyway, I may go and actually check some of these inlets to see, because that's what's going to happen. Is that this stuff is going to come down the river, and as to where it may push down the river, some of it's going to settle. There's just no denying that. And that's biology 101, right? I mean, it's anything anything that weighs more than water is going to drag, and anything that separates itself from water is going to flourish. And those are the things, I mean, go from side to side. So what's going to happen is I don't know, and I hope not, but we're going to probably see some different things in the inlets off of the river. And those are the issues, because this is going to be something that just sits there. And then once it subsides or goes out, then it could even go, it could build up to the point to where it seeps into the ground. And who knows how long that stuff can go? Who knows how long that can last there? And again, I don't, if you want to look at some photos, there are some photos of some things that have happened to some animals. A lot of fish have died because of this. They are washed up on the shores of the Ohio River, and it's just, wow, like even these creeks, it's like, so it's okay. It's okay to go back in your house, drink the water, you'll be fine. Come on. I just, listening to some of this stuff, I was like, I don't even know how to, I don't even know how to respond to it. I know you guys were leaving some very sailor words like in the comments from yesterday's video, and I kind of just left them because it's like, well, again, try not to cuss. Please try not to cuss. If you do throw in the little asterisk thing, I understand this is a frustrating situation, and believe me, I let some words fly. But yeah, it's, we try to keep it, just try to keep the cuss words off there. The big ones, you can use the little ones, and you know which ones I'm talking about. No F-bombs, or use the little asterisk and $sign, fill it in. But I don't know. But yeah, we may check out some of those inlets here, because I am curious to see. And the thing is something that I would do is basically what they did. Just toss a rock in the water and see if, it looks like a rainbow. There's so much crap flowing down the Ohio River, though, that I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, it could be oil from a barge leaking oil into the river. I don't know. I mean, I hope not, but excuse me, it could be anything. But the thing that pissed me off the most is listening to some moms up in East Palestine with their children having rashes and their throats getting really scratchy. They don't want to go home. They're afraid. This is what really upset me, and I think that was the breaking point. I watched a video on a lady, and then another lady who had went to the town hall where the guys didn't even show up. The head guys didn't even show up. Boy, is that sorry or what? Own up to your mistakes and take care of the problem. You've probably made several mistakes. Own up to the problem. Step up to the plate. It's BS. Oh, that's okay, Ebba. I see you now. Hello. Sorry, yeah, I not really able to get to too many comments tonight. Everybody makes mistakes, Marty. What's important is that we learn from them, sometimes, I make mistakes all the time, but this is a big one, and this shouldn't be, you got people's lives in your hands. That's, clean it up, fix it, fix the train, fix the railroad. They're talking about faulty brakes and stuff on the train. And then you hear another story about how the trail line around the bend there is thinned out. Like, okay, so there's two excuses. There's two reasons, you know. Yes, Erica, I agree. And you're right, Judy. Good old Pete. Step up to the plate. Yeah. Ohio just legalized sports gambling, so I wonder if good old Pete's going to get into the Hall of Fame now. Just kidding. I don't know. Uh, like I said, I will not get into or respond to any politics of any kind. I know it is, and most of you know how I feel about a lot of stuff, but I just stay out of that because it is not, like I said, it is an issue that we all have to come together and fix. No matter who you are, no matter what party you're for, it has to get done, and that's the final. Too many. I don't really know how to say. I don't want to say weak-minded people. Too many people that have too much power that aren't fixing the problems that are supposed to be working for us. That's all I'll say. But I mean, this is, it's out of control. It's out of hand. I mean, this is uncalled for. I have thought that myself, Chris. I have thought that myself. It's not just the, you know, uh, it's it's crazy to think about. It really is because there is a lot of farmland through central Ohio, central Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, where they're now seeing some of this. They're saying that even through the air, where it is pushed through. Like, how does it take that long to push through the air? And the funny thing is that that's what they're assuming. Again, that's what I've heard on the news that Virginia is now seeing effects from this, not effects on people or animals or fish or anything, but just the effects of it coming through the air. How can that not affect you? And the thing, it's been 2 weeks and it's just now blowing to Virginia. I can see it taking a while for it to come downstream, come downriver. But in the air, you wouldn't think that it would take that long. Um, no, I haven't seen those, Little Graham. It is unbelievable. I know. Well, it's not money that is the root of all evil. It is the love of money is the root of all evil. If we're quoting the Bible. Because it is. It is. Nothing wrong with having money. You need money to survive. It's good to have a little bit extra to, money. I've always told this to Jess. Me and Jess have been together a long time now, and I said, money is of no real concern to me as long as I am able to put food on the table, provide our roof, our home, and pay our bills, and store a little bit away so that we can get away every now and then on a little vacation. That's it. I mean, it's good to save, if you can put a little bit back, it's always good to do that. But I've never really cared about money. I've always wanted to live like I was on Star Trek. I wish it was. I wish it was like we didn't need money anymore. If you want something, you just get it. You just have it. Everybody trades, right? Oh, anybody who watches Star Trek knows what I'm talking about. And it's sad. It's sad, and to go in that, and I know my mom will be happy to hear that I said that because she's always used that quote. Uh-oh. That was our the speaker. I won't say her name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. I don't know why that came on. Jess, are you on here? Are you messing with what's her name? Anyway, yeah, that was one of my mom's favorite sayings is, it's people always say money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And the thing is that I look a little bit beyond that too. It's power. Power. Once people have power, they are afraid to lose it. And it's like that is it. These people in power, lots of people in power, anytime you gain something, the more and more you gain, the more and more you're afraid to lose it. And I'm not trying to quote Star Wars or the Emperor either. Just worked out that way. Yeah, Chris, that was one of my favorite. That was my dad's favorite. Was the Next Generation. I watched a lot of them. I'm excited to see the new Picard show. I started watching the first season, kind of fell out of it. A friend of mine told me the second season really wasn't all that, but apparently this third season here, you don't need to see either one of those two seasons. So I'm just going to start there because it has the whole Next Generation crew in it. So pretty excited for that. You're right there, Dimensions. She wants more money. I guess. All right, Marty. Live long and prosper. That's right, Howard. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, if we all had millions, what would we fight about? Oh, there'd be something. There'd be something. I just, it's like I've thought of that. Have you ever sat back and thought of that? What if we just didn't need money? What if we could just live in a world where everybody had their own thing? These people built cars. It's just like how we do now. It's just, let's make it to where we don't need money. Right? Everybody farms and does their own things. Everybody has their specialties. You trade this, I trade this, you trade this, we trade this. Everybody, works together, builds your own neighborhoods and houses. I mean, it's really the same thing that we're doing now. It's just it's costing everybody a fortune. So let's just take all that out of there, right? And then, yeah, just everybody have a house. Everybody have the kind of life they want to live. And there we go. If there'd be no need for crime or anything because you wouldn't be able to rob anybody because they wouldn't have any money. Right? I mean, well, okay, I went a little off track there, but I mean, I don't know. It's like when you look at things from that kind of perspective, when you really get in deep, you can really think of ways that, this could work, maybe in the future, right? I mean, yeah, I don't know. From what Rob was saying earlier on here, yeah, I may do that. I may just test the water, It's like right now we haven't even been drinking any tap water. I've usually never worried about it. Like I said, our water's always really clean. I don't worry too much about it. We always have bottled water just so like when I go out for a walk or when I'm doing videos, I'll take a bottle of water with me. But yeah, definitely not gonna be drinking the water here for a little while. If we go a couple few weeks and I see that everybody's not turning green, then then I may start drinking it again. And I'm joking. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it all works out good. But hope brings eternal, I guess. Hello, Crown Apple Kid. What's happening? I need to get up there. I need to get up to Jungle Gems. Oh, I miss that place. It's like we have had so much going on like on the weekends because I'll do a video somewhere, but really I'm kind of speeding through the videos on the weekends as of late because we've just had so much to do, just family stuff and you know. Excuse me. Signal popped out. Looks good on my end. That's one nice thing I like about having the tablet here is I know if something's wrong with our internet, I can just see it on here because I'm in real time here with you guys. Or well, actually, real time is on the camera here, but the time that you guys are in is on the tablet here. That's interesting, Don. I don't know. I don't know. I may be looking dirty here for the next few days. I don't know. Everybody's been asking that question, and it's like, it's definitely not going to be comfortable. I mean, it's like the thing is that I know some people, and some people have said, oh, you don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's like, this is something that is like, I've never had to deal with anything like this before. And hearing the nightmare stories up north, right, on the same river, we're downstream, and again, whether I'm blowing this out of proportion for myself or not, me and Jessica are in agreement that, yeah, we're going to be drinking bottled water. Maybe even using it to brush our teeth. Anything, it's like as far as showers, I haven't really, I mean, I've tried to think a little bit about it, but, I don't know. I don't know. Just hold your breath. I don't know. It's a headache. And I can only imagine. And again, I don't want to, I can only imagine being up in East Palestine right now. It's like you try to put yourself in those shoes. Like, well, what are they doing? I mean, are they just going on like obviously most of them, there were a ton of people at that town hall meeting last night where nobody seemed to show up. They did have some representatives from the train company show up, and from what they were offering sounded like a very low ball uh, offer for things. They better be up in the ante on that because that ain't gonna fly. As soon as they said that number, which I won't go over numbers because that could have changed by the time we end this. I'm sure it has. But you can look all this stuff up. This is all online. There's YouTube. News stations are covering it everywhere. Well, I wouldn't say everywhere, but they're covering it a lot more now. That's right, Lori. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, you know all about bad water. Not like this, but I know in Florida, Florida can have some terrible water sometimes. I mean, I've been in places in Florida where it's like, it just, I don't know, it can get pretty nasty depending on where you are. I know Central Florida seems to deal with most of the bad water because you're in a swamp. I mean, it's basically a swamp. Yeah, that's the plan, Bobcat. That's very smart, Howard. That's very smart. Yeah, I've heard of other people doing that, filling up the bathtub with water when you have a hurricane. Absolutely. Joyce, go with your gut to save yourself. Absolutely. Yeah, you can take it for what it is. You can take, you know, I'm just telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know and how I feel about the situation. If you feel fine, that's great. And, I'm not, I don't, like I said, I don't want to I don't want to freak anybody out or anything. You know, if you're fine with everything and just going on about your everyday life and just everything, I mean, that's fine. You know, and I don't want to say whether that's right or wrong because I don't know, but neither do they. And keep that in mind. They don't know. They don't know nothing. I'm just like, this is, you know, they can say everything. They can, at this point, I don't believe anything they say. I've watched too much on this to believe. I believe the people who live there and the videos of seeing everything that's going on. You know, like I said, seeing is believing in most things. Yeah, that is an option, Becky. That's a tough option. And I know it stinks, but yes, Lorraine, I know. Oh yeah, we have family. We have family all over Florida, and some places are better than others. I will say around Orlando, it seems like it's gotten better. Me and Jessica usually go around the Orlando area when we're down in Florida for most of our stay or for most of what we do. Because Orlando's party town. You got Disney, you got Universal, you got all the different, you know, putt-putt golf and all that good stuff. Real golf, if you like that. Um, but yeah, Orlando's water, I don't, they, it seems like they're getting better at it. I'm sure there's places where it's still bad, but alrighty. Absolutely, Victor. Absolutely. I thought the same thing. Like, you couldn't even get on a Zoom call to apologize. I'm not going to name any names of people that I'm not liking right now. I just but you probably know who they are. If you've been watching this, you know who I'm talking about. But it's yeah, cowards. Cowards. It is heartbreaking, Sherry, absolutely. I agree, Howard. I agree. You know, it's it's kind of it's kind of how we've been leaning in the things that we have been doing on this channel. You know, we get a lot of new viewers every week. We get a lot of new subscribers, and thank you all to all of our new subscribers. And hear this: what we do on this channel is we have been covering inflation. We have been covering the empty shelves situation for a year and a half now, maybe longer. We have been covering prices in the grocery stores to to share with everyone not only what is going on, but how you can save on a week to week, even day to day basis. And I know you know, in a lot of videos I end up sounding like a broken record, but we are bringing more and more people onto the channel every day, and a lot of people ask for the same items. You know, everybody says that, oh, we're so different. No, we are a lot the same in a lot of ways. One thing I've learned on this channel is with the thousands and thousands of people that we reach every day, there's a lot of similarities between all of us that I think that if people would stop and look and check it out, you know, there really are. A lot of the things that people ask about are usually the same items. One of the biggest ones that I get all the time is peanut butter. Peanut butter, the honey roasted peanuts. I swear, everybody, and I'll tell you what, one of these days there's going to be so many honey roasted peanuts in stores, they ain't going to know what to do with them. I mean, I get that comment so much, and I think it's funny every time some new person mentions honey roasted peanuts. Like, oh, here's somebody in Indianapolis that can't find honey roasted peanuts. Somebody commented the other day. Here's someone in Arizona about a week ago or so was asking about honey roasted peanuts. Like, what and I know like 6 or 7 months ago we couldn't find them anywhere around here, right? But that is a snack that I guess a lot of people like, you know, honey roasted peanuts. I think that's hilarious. And a lot of the staples like sugar. There's been a little bit of a sugar shortage in Cincinnati. I saw a good amount at Kroger Marketplace today, and that's something that's not going to stay gone. I just thought it was funny that Meyer was pretty wiped out the other day, and then we heard from our buddy up north in Michigan that their Meyer was full of sugar. So that was good, so it hits in spots, but it's good to mention these things. We have a lot of viewers, a lot of followers in Cincinnati, so I try to keep up with everyone who watches us around here too, so that if you know that you're over here and you can't, and there's no sugar at Kroger, check Walmart. And even Walmart was low the last time we were there, which was kind of funny. But I did see plenty at Aldi. Aldi looked like they had a good amount in, and their price dropped on it. It's $2.48 now. They had to beat Kroger with that penny, right? Kroger's is $2.49, and Aldi just went down from $2.80 to $2.48. So good to see that dropping a little bit. I'd like to see Aldi's drop a little more. Also, good news about eggs. So you'll see in the video tomorrow morning, they have eggs everywhere at Kroger Marketplace. They're putting them on in cabinets. There's a place up front where they just had eggs and eggs and eggs. And I'm seeing the signs for $5.99 for the 18-count eggs. Well, and then I say in the video, I'm like, let's go check out the main case, right? So I go over to the main case, and it's stacked to the ceiling with eggs inside the coolers. And they changed the price. I noticed that the price changed. It was $4.39 for the 18 count. And then the 12 count dropped to $2.99. They literally either just changed that or they haven't been changing them around in the store. People haven't been buying them. And that's awesome. That's awesome because, we always say, like, hey, if something gets too expensive, quit buying it. You guys know we haven't been buying eggs. We're not going to pay $6, $7, $8 for eggs. Come on. That's just crazy. But the eggs dropped to, even $2.99 for 12 count of eggs is ridiculous. Especially when they were $1.19 last year. But with everything going on, good to see it dropping, don't get me wrong. But, so the prices have dropped at Kroger. So if you're going to Kroger and you see the price for $5.99 or they're trying to charge you that, you'll see in the video tomorrow, I think they literally just changed it, while I was there. But they weren't selling all those other ones because they still had the $5.99 price tag on them. Wait till tomorrow. There's literally eggs everywhere. They're putting them in cases and stuff. It looks ridiculous. But they have nowhere to put them. They had nowhere to put them because people weren't buying them, and good for you. Gasoline is about $3.25. It varies depending on gas station. I saw it for $3.25, and then further down I saw it for $3.35. It's been that for a while. Yeah, $2.99 a dozen at Aldi. That's, we saw it go up to $4.29 or $4.24. Right, Aldi's kind of weird with the numbers, but, for Aldi, I was like, that's crazy. And the funny thing is that Aldi was the first store that we saw around here to crack the $4 mark. I thought that was pretty funny. It was also the first one that I saw that, oh no, I guess Walmart dropped their price. Their 12 count eggs at our Walmart is $2.72. Their 18 count is $5.08. So that makes Kroger cheaper now. Now we'll have to check Walmart again. They may have gone down again. We'll have to see. But good to see them come down. And anything coming down in price is a good thing. I did find more price increases, though, today at Kroger. I really wasn't even trying, I wasn't even, it's funny, I kind of dilly-dally going from one thing to the next, looking for things that you guys have been asking about on the channel, whether they have it in or what the prices are. And it's I'll just find these things as I go along. Oh, look at the fries. They're double what they were a couple weeks ago. That's good, Wayne. Yeah, not bad. $13.20 at Walmart. Let's see. We saw it was back around September, maybe October, early October. The lowest I had seen the 60 count eggs, because they were $10.55 at our Walmart. That was the lowest I'd ever seen them in a long time. And then we saw like the next time we went, it was down to 9.55, which was even cheaper. And I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And then, then we just started seeing it go back up. That is true, Kim. I've always kind of thought, that's funny, and not in the massiveness it was on this time around. But you're right, it always is, and you always have to watch out for it. Uh, Carrie talking about Kroger brand SpaghettiOs with meatballs. I don't think I've ever tried those. I don't think I've had the regular SpaghettiOs, not the Kroger brand. Big Sissy Banana says, I haven't been buying eggs either. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I refuse to pay $4 for a 12 count of eggs. Now, as we know, Jessica had to make her meatloaf, and I spent $3.79 at Meijer a couple weeks ago because I was like, we're making meatloaf. You need an egg. We're buying eggs. I didn't care. I was like, well, you know, for the number one meal in the world to me, Jessica can make one mean meatloaf. I will get that egg. Yeah, I actually bring that up, Sharon, in tomorrow's, but make sure you check the dates on the eggs because we're seeing castles of eggs at Kroger because nobody's been buying them. So make sure that because if Kroger is doing it the right way, which I'm sure they are, all the new eggs are going to be at the bottom. They're going to be pushing the dates forward. If they're doing it right, that's how they will do it. Um, and I don't think it'd be that big of an issue, but yeah, definitely check the dates. And we say that for everything. We always get comments to check the expiration dates or best if used by dates. I know some people get a little upset when I say expiration dates, but or best if used, whatever you call it, whatever you want to, whatever category you want to put it in. I recommend you check all that stuff all the time, everywhere. I do. Anything I buy, I check the expiration date on it. I don't care what it is. Canned goods. How long do I have for this? We buy up a lot of stuff, as most of you guys know. We rotate our canned goods because we make sure that the stuff that's been in there for a while, we're bringing forward and using that, which I'm sure a lot of you do. And if you don't, you should, because otherwise you'll do like I used to and reach in the back of your cabinet or pantry or whatever, and then oh shoot, this was best if used by in 2019. So yeah, I wouldn't trust that. I would pitch that. I know some people say no, it's good for years, but something that long, I don't know. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. I'm glad you like it. That's why we go to Big Lots. We always get comments when we go to Big Lots. We get a lot of these comments from Target too, but you know what? I don't care. I get good deals at Target. If you're watching, what kills me is some people that leave comments about Target that and I know Target's expensive. It is, but there are a lot of good deals. And part of the reason why I go to Target is why we started going to Target in the first place was when last year and a few months, when stores were wiped out and we couldn't find anything, we were finding everything you guys were asking about at Target. We had viewers going to Target and finding all the items that we were pointing out and saving money in the process because a lot of things at Target are cheaper than Kroger and even Walmart in a lot of areas. It's just most isn't, but at least a lot of the stuff that I buy is, you know. I have not seen eggs at Dollar Tree in a long time. Maybe now that maybe they start coming down, we may see them again, but I'm sure whatever person that they were working with as a contracting them out to somebody, I'm sure they probably discontinued that when eggs went up to $4. Yeah, I don't know, Candace. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Joanne, we did a, during the big football game last Sunday, Jessica made a bunch of stuff. We did a little video of her making all the stuff. If you go back just a few days, I forget what I titled the video. Shop with me and Jessica at Kroger was the title of the video. It was just a few days ago. Jessica makes a whole thing of food. It was awesome. She made the cannonballs, as we call them, sausage balls with the Bisquick and the sausage, Tennessee Pride sausage, and some other things she puts in, the poultry seasoning that we went over. She just made so many good things. It was unbelievable. Also, this is interesting. The first time we've tried this. The Kroger brand Little Smokies, the little cocktail wieners, better than Hillshire Farm and Cons. I liked them a lot better. Better texture, better taste. Like Jessica was saying, there's always like a little piece or two in like the Hillshire Farm and Cons. It's like that little hard, where they like bind the smoky together or something. You know, the real hard piece. That's not in it on the Kroger ones, and they taste. It's the same exact thing, but they don't have that on the ends. And I feel like the sauce, you know, because we cooked it in the crock pot. Well, she did. I didn't do anything but hold a camera. She, you know, just put it in the crock pot, put the barbecue sauce on it, let it cook for a while, slow cook, or we cooked it on high because I think we just cooked them for like an hour, but they tasted like they've been cooking all day. I mean, they were fantastic. But yeah, we're gonna try and add more food videos. We did do she did do a meatloaf video not that long ago. I can't remember the name of the video. You could probably just type in Adventures with Danno uh, meatloaf, and it'll probably come up. Yeah, anytime you ever have a problem with searching a video, and I'm sure this is the same with most people's channels, but for ours, I try to at least put the word of something, the keyword of something, into the title. So if it's like if you're searching for a particular Kroger video, you can type in Adventures with Danno Kroger, and then literally put the date or what day you were thinking of, or week, or February, January, you know, any month, and it should come up. You know, YouTube is ever changing, and they've changed a lot of things on the platform lately. A lot of I don't like the white subscribe button thing. It doesn't look right. It's like I wish they would go back to the red. Like the red sticks out more. It's easier to see. As you notice, I've changed it on my thing so that people might recognize that with the little white and black subscribe button on the bottom. I don't know. I don't like that. It doesn't look very it doesn't look professional. You know, it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't look right. It looks like it's easily missed. It's easily missed. It blends in with everything else. You know, when you have the one red subscribe button, it's easy to see. Oh, I haven't subscribed yet. Well, with the other one, it's like it completely disappears. So, I mean, I guess that's good. You know, that way it's, you know you're subscribed because it just goes away. But I don't know. I don't care for the white subscribe button. Uh, uh, what were they? Expiration for next December, Linda? Bought three. They were quartz. Quartz expiration date is December 2nd. We got a lot of good comments on that Gosner milk. We've gotten a lot of comments over the course of our channel of the Gosner milk. Dollar Tree it seems like it sells out so fast there. One day we'll come in and it'll be full, and then the next two trips there'll be like one or two. So it's pretty popular. The Modern Pantry one, it's always seems like they've got a good amount. So I don't know if that's better or not. Yes, Marianne, it is definitely one of my favorites. It's absolutely delicious. Jessica makes this stuff with love, guys. I mean, you want to be a good cook. That's what it takes. It takes putting love into everything you do, and that's what she's good at. Hello, Eric from Oregon. Thank you for joining. Uh, oh, thank you, Banana. Yeah, Jess. Oof, boy, she was working. I know it may not have looked like it on camera, but it was like it's like she was like in she was in cooking mode. That was for sure. I don't know, Cheryl. Illinois had an earthquake yesterday. Boy, I'll tell you what. And you know that thing that happened in Turkey. Um, I'll tell you that's crazy. That earthquake. I don't know. I haven't even heard about that one yet. Cheryl, was it a bad one? Oh, 112 says, I've learned to eat dinner before this live, otherwise I'm ravenous by the time it's over. Oh, well, you get the coffee. Suppress the appetite. Or make it worse. Oh, hey, Tanette. How are you? Sorry if I'm just getting to you guys. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about early on in the show tonight. Yes, it does, Howard. Yeah, I've been trying. You know, we've kind of gone back and forth with supper times. Like we were getting to the point there where we were eating at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I felt like I'm 90 years old or something. And no offense to anyone that eats early, but traditionally, you know, older people seem to eat very early, and we were like, oh, we're like in a retirement village eating at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But that's just how our schedule was, and it's like now we're it seems like we're eating a little later, 5:36. But I don't know if there is. You know, I like to eat a little earlier though, so that it kind of burns off before I go to sleep. If I eat right before I go to bed, I might as well just stay up because I won't be able to sleep. Well, thank you, Daniel Stefan. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the super chat there, buddy. Thank you. We have to 112. You know, all of our thoughts and prayers for East Palestine, Turkey. You know, it's like these things. It's like we never have a chance to focus on one thing before the next crazy event happens. I mean that earthquake in Turkey. That's 24,000 people so far, and you know they're still finding people. That's just crazy to think of. I mean, even one person is hard to think of. You know, people say that, you know, and that's another reason why I talk about not liking the news and everything. I don't know how they keep a straight face, right? I could never be like a news anchor. Well, 24,000 people are now out of, you know, or have now passed in Turkey from the earthquake. Next up, we've got bowling. I don't know how they do that. Like, I don't know, training, I guess. How they can go from like something so dark and then something just completely, you know, and I understand maybe reading from a teleprompter, but you see the emotion too. You see them literally get excited for bowling. It's like a trade off. It's like here's the bad thing that happened today. I have to force a smile on this because it would be me having to force a smile, and a lot of news anchors they seem to do it so effortlessly. It just I don't know. It drives me. I couldn't do it. I know some people are like, "Oh, I need to do these news things more often." I don't know if I could. You know, it's something that's like unless I do it the way that I do it, and then I could. It's like explain things in a way that I can explain them and not bounce from subject to subject like a lot of news stations do. Well, it's just terrible what happened today. Phil, how's the weather? I just, I don't know. I don't really understand the caps thing. I know I see some YouTubers tell people, "Oh, don't use all caps." I don't know why. I guess YouTube. See what it is I think sometimes it'll trigger something on a comment. I have seen a lot of comments where people use capital letters for everything, and it'll get thrown into the held for review comments. So that could be why some people say not to do that, because that way, because if it gets, because I don't, half the time I don't even check those. If it gets held in the comments, sometimes I just can't get to them. I'm just so busy. But I notice a lot of comments that do go to the held for review because they don't have any cuss words or anything in them. It's just, I don't know, and I've thought that before. Maybe because people are using all caps, maybe that triggers something to throw it in the warning bin. Cheryl, 42,000 plus. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. I mean, that's nearly double from, because the last I heard, and it's been a few days since I had seen it. But see, there, it's like even one is too many, and that's something that we can't forget. It's like when we hear of this many people perishing, it's terrible. Don't get me wrong, it's crazy, it's terrible. But it's like, but I hate when when something happens and then somebody will say, "Well, that wasn't that many people, or that was just one person. It could have been a lot worse." Say that to that one person's family. I mean, yeah, a number. If you're looking at it from a number standpoint, oof, that is. I don't even know what to think of that. Have we ever had an earthquake like that before, where that many have perished? Not that I know of. Jeez. Tyler says, "You do you, Danno." Absolutely, I have to. I can't get in all. That's why, I do it a certain way. I have to, because just for my own mental health. It's like I can't. It's like I'm all about bringing the news of things that you can see to you. That's why like it was hard for me to do this little thing last night about the public service announcement thing, because it's like I'm bringing out information, but I'm not doing what I normally do and showing the proof as I go along. That's why I tell you where I heard it from, so you can always Google it or look it up. I'm not going to do like some of these people and you get some of these people on here and they literally look up somebody else's news report and they're literally reading it off. So and so said this today. They're basically just a news anchor and they're going through like somebody's different speeches and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I couldn't do. If I read the report, then I'll tell you what I read in the report and then be like, look, you can look this up, take it for what you will. Cheryl says, it's hard to comprehend. Miracles have happened there, though. People, well, being saved. I've heard of a couple awesome rescues, if that's what you mean. Oh, we have mods. You just don't see them. Yaranka says, Colorado is beautiful. Talking to Tonette. I have been to the U.S. a few times, but not D.C. or Kentucky. I've never been to D.C. I would love to visit Washington, D.C. someday. I've never been to New York either. I would love to go to New York. I mean, I would never want to live there. I love where I live. I love Cincinnati. When you start looking at the big picture everywhere else, like, we don't have hurricanes. We live, like, on a mountain, so we really, knock on wood, don't have tornadoes. We get tornadoes close to here, but never, like, in our area. Again, but yeah, it's not so bad around here. I know me and Jessica always talk about moving to Florida. And then probably after that one bad hurricane, we'd want to be moving back. Jessica, I don't think she could take the heat. I don't think she could take the 90 degrees all summer long or 100 degrees. It gets hot in Florida. I mean, it is the hottest I've ever been in my life as far as like, especially if you're in Central Florida. You know, if you're on the beach, you know, you get the breeze and stuff like that. But if you're in Orlando, I'll tell you what, there's been times, I remember there was this one time we were at Epcot at Disney World, and it was as hot as you could possibly imagine. Now, me and Jess are, you know, we're usually pretty smart about it. We freeze waters. We'll freeze waters, and I'll put it in my backpack, put them in some bags, stuff like that, so they don't sweat and stuff. They were literally all thawed out by when we had gone into the park at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So we were, and it was like at that point, it's like, and they will give you free water at Disney. If you go up and say, I need a glass of water, they will get you a glass of water. It'll taste like matches, but at that point, you don't care. Because, yeah, Disney water is terrible. Anything out of their faucet, yeah. But I'm not going to spend $4 or $5 for a 20 ounce of water. But they will give it to you for free. And actually, the cool thing about Epcot is you know, where we go to the World Showcase where you have all the different international foods and all that stuff, which that is awesome. I highly recommend that. And the time of year we go to, they have their international food festival. Food and wine festival, and it is fantastic. It is, and it's still hot. It's still hot then in September, October. I mean, it's 100 degrees almost every day. But one time, like when we were at Epcot, if you're back by the World Showcase, it's all concrete. It's all like concrete all the way around there, and it is hot, like blacktop on top of like really hot concrete. I don't really know how to explain it. Florida is a little different in the mixture they use for their like concrete and stuff. If you live in Florida, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's a little different than it is up here, but it is hot. I mean, you can literally feel this. You just baking. I mean, it's like I had like on a like a muscle shirt, and I mean, I'm just wringing this thing out. People were miserable. People were sitting down, had umbrellas to block the sun and stuff, which I bring an umbrella every time we go now, just in case. More for if it rains, but when that sun gets out, you're happy you got that thing. Yeah, the humidity pinch. Yeah, I know. It's a nightmare. You can peel the sweat off of you. That's why if you live in Florida, you invest in a good air conditioner. One time, you know, Jessica has a lot of family that lives in Florida. One time we were at the Magic Kingdom, and we were meeting up with them there. Now they had a pass, and it was basically a free day for us because of the way that we would do ticket packages. Like it was an extra day. So we didn't have to, you know, we weren't as concerned to stay there because it was like an extra day. And her whole family had driven up there to hang out with us at the park. Now they all have passes. They all have passes to Disney. So nothing to them. And we were literally hanging out in Cosmic Rays. If you're familiar with Disney World, you know where I'm talking about. It is the giant eatery area, and it is just the best air conditioning ever. I mean, it is cranking. And we're all just sitting there and we're talking, and you know, we felt bad. We're like, look, we just don't know if we can go on. It is so hot today, and you know, we're not used to that kind of heat living up here. And they were like, we just came up here to see you guys. We don't even want to be here. Let's go. And we literally left. We went out to eat. We did all this other stuff in air conditioning, and they were excited because they were literally just coming up there to see us. They were glad that we wanted to leave because I mean, it was, I don't know what, it was over 100 and as humid as you could possibly imagine. All right, Benton. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. Yes, I do need to. I've been on here a lot longer than I thought I was going to be. That's why we started at 7 tonight. I know the times kind of bounce back and forth. I never really know what time I'm going to do it on Fridays. You'll just have to check it out. It's usually between 7 and 7:30. Um, just depends on how much work I can get done before I do the live show because I got to get off here and still do everything else for tomorrow's video. Yes, you definitely want to have a generator down there for sure. Yeah, you know, I don't like winter, Sarah. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I hate the cold. I do, especially days like today. It's like it was 70 degrees here Wednesday, 65 yesterday, but it rained all day. 32 today for the high. Excuse me. It's going to get down to 21 tonight. Now, it's supposed to be a high of 46 tomorrow, so, okay, heat wave, I guess. But it's like, that's why everybody gets sick here this time of year, because the weather is just all up and down. But I will say, we are blessed for this February. This has been the warmest February I can ever remember. And it looks like the whole next week. This is the coldest day. Today was the coldest day we're going to have for the next whole week. It's going to be up near, I think Sunday is going to be 50, right around 50, and it's going to get up into the 60s a little bit and then back down into the 50s. But I can handle that. I mean, it's once it gets, when it gets down to 0 or below 0 around here, that's when I'm ready to move to Florida. Go, Joyce. Go. They're begging you to come down? Shoot. They wouldn't have to beg me too hard. We got a couch. I'd already be on my way. 14-hour drive. It don't even bother me anymore. I know people say, how do you do that? It's like, me and Jess have driven to Florida so much. It's like, we don't even think about it. The hardest part about driving to Florida for us is getting through the mountains. We got to drive through all of Kentucky and all of Tennessee. But once you get to Georgia, it's pretty flat, I mean, there's a few mountains in the beginning of Georgia, but Georgia's a long state, though. That's a hard one to get through. We usually, sometimes, we'll stop somewhere if we're really tired, or depending on when we leave in the morning. But most of the time, we usually drive straight through. Judy says 76 here today. Wow, that's nice. All right, Howard. Have a good night. Thank you. Yes, Cheryl, it really has. I know. Yeah, we're kind of on a direct line together. So, yeah, you're pretty much getting the same weather we are. Might get a little more snow than we do. Because sometimes we're on that Ohio River Valley line. So, what hits you, you know, it could either go north, or if it sometimes, we've been seeing it go south more this year. South, like middle Kentucky and more south into Tennessee, which is weird. I usually don't go like that. I love Ocala. I love Ocala Pinch. We've stayed in Ocala a couple times when I realized that I shouldn't be on the road anymore. Takes us about 11 and a half, 12 hours to get to Ocala. There's a Holiday Inn in Ocala. If you know the one I'm talking about, it is absolutely awesome. Awesome. I think this is a Disney hotel. I think they took the idea of Animal Kingdom, a Disney resort, and they literally put it into this Holiday Inn. We couldn't believe it. We were like, we were just like, we had to get a room. It was like we couldn't do it anymore, and I couldn't believe. I was walking around this hotel. I don't know. I can't remember if I did a video on it or not. I might have. But they had like glass elevators and all these different like artifacts and different like animal paintings, and just it was beautiful. Coolest Holiday Inn I've ever stayed at in my life. Yeah, has anybody heard about that other balloon? There's this. I see. Linda says we had a UFO sighting last week close to home. uh, apparently there was. I don't know. I heard it on the news, or I saw it on the news on YouTube. You can check it out. It's called Hobby Jobs. Hobby Jobs put out something saying that they were in contact with the FBI, and they just got blown off. Who knows if this is true or not? It was on. I forget what news station it was on, but you can YouTube it. Just type in Hobby Jobs balloon, and it'll probably come up. But they're saying out they had a balloon that had disappeared. Because I guess it's something that they do. I don't know. It had some kind of tracking system on it, and they were talking about how much their balloons are, and they said anywhere from $12 to $180. I'm like, wouldn't that be funny? Like we just blew a $12 balloon out of the sky with a $430,000 missile. Oh, I'm getting a little slap happy. I forgot all about that. That was hilarious. I don't know. Apparently, apparently it is something that really happened though. It was a Fox. I think it was a Fox News. I think it was on Fox News. I don't know. You can just Google hobby jobs balloon, and I'm sure it'll come up. It is hilarious. And who knows if it's true or not? But it's pretty funny. Uh, yeah, I think you were telling me about that, Sarah. Yeah, that's awesome. Your oldest and middle sister live in Davenport. One sister works for Disney, and other sister's husband works Disney also. Yes. So you need to be getting some free tickets. And if you do, don't forget about your buddy. And Jess, mostly. Lori avoids I-4 like the plague. It's a nightmare to drive. I know what you mean. I know it is. Knock on wood again. I feel like we always get lucky. I feel like we really luck out because it seems like the only time I've ever really been stuck on I-4 was when I took my sister-in-law out to the airport. It was packed. It was like really slammed. But I'll tell you what, I mean, maybe it's the time of days. We do try to avoid I-4 during rush hour. I mean, that's obvious. But we've never really had too many problems. I mean, once you get down like near Tampa, or if you get up near like NASCAR, or not NASCAR, where the NASCAR is, Daytona. I think that's going on Sunday. Daytona 500, isn't that Sunday? Hello, Salem. How are you? Hey, Dan, have you and Jess stayed at the Great Wolf Lodge? Did you like it? No. No, as a matter of fact, we have not. Yeah, it was going to be one of my first YouTube videos when I first started YouTube. I had went up there and I was asking them if I could do a video of Great Wolf Lodge, give them some publicity, stuff like that, and they turned me down. I haven't been back there since. Now, to be fair, I had like 20 subscribers, and they wanted to see my YouTube channel and all that stuff, and they probably saw that and they were like, "Well, you're not getting any attention." Now who's laughing? No, no. If we stayed there one day, and that's the thing, if I would have paid to stay there, I would have been able to film the room and stuff like that. But as far as, I don't know. You would think that they would still do it for the advertising. I wasn't trying to stay there or anything. I just wanted to, show the place off. But, yep. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Yes, Crown Apple Kid. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, Pinch. Yeah, you guys live down there. I don't know. We're down there, and I guess depending on what time of year too, because I mean, you guys deal with it all the time. Usually, we're there in the fall, right? Because that's if you want to save going to Florida, you go during the worst part of hurricane season and just roll the dice. That's what we've always done. Luckily, we got out of there before the last hurricane hit last fall because that could have been bad. And as a lot of you know, we drove down there during Hurricane Irma. Well, we actually had to postpone our trip a day because literally we were looking at the map and here's Florida, right? Here's Florida right here, and here's Hurricane Irma just right over Florida. Like you couldn't even see Florida on the map, and we were like, well, we just took a loss on the hotel room because the package we saved a lot of money because of the amount of time that we were staying and stuff like that. So we just ate that first day basically. And I'll tell you what, when we got down there though, it took us 26 hours to get to Florida. 26 hours straight. We pulled off to the side of the road. We couldn't even get gas. I mean, we did eventually. We had to wait for like an hour and a half at one gas station to get gas, and they were running out. And we were a little nervous that we were going to have to just wait it out. But it was one of our record-breaking times getting to Atlanta. We had left and we were through Atlanta in like 7 hours, which is unreal. And Excuse me. And then as soon as we got about 20 minutes south of Atlanta, nothing but Florida license plates all the way to the Florida Turnpike. It was a standstill. It was nuts. We were losing our minds. There were people swerving. And, I mean, it was like everybody trying to get back into Florida from the evacuation from Hurricane Irma. Oh, that was a nightmare. We couldn't even sleep. We were so rattled by everything. Like, because we pulled into a hotel. They were booked. Every hotel was packed. Nothing available. And then we got down to Florida finally, like the next day eventually. And there were people that were staying at our hotel where they had their animals. They had lost their homes. I mean, it was like I kind of felt like this was because we were originally going to cancel the trip. We were like, this is so bad. We were like, this isn't good. Because we were considering doing it. We had the opportunity to cancel it. We're like, nah, let's just wait a day or two. And I kind of feel like it was our calling to be there because there were a lot of people that were hurting. There were people that were crying. Crazy. I mean, it was absolutely nuts. And we were there for everybody. It was like, here we are on vacation, trying to enjoy ourselves. And it was like we found ourselves with a new place to be here. I mean, a new, like here we are excited for vacation. And here are all these other people who have lost their homes, who have lost animals, and it was good for us to be there to comfort all these people in need. And it was like that I felt like we had like a special purpose there on that trip. And it was the most memorable Florida trip I've ever had for good and bad reasons. I'll tell you what, yeah, it was crazy, Joyce, but it's a story that will last forever. And I mean, I'll tell you, there's a lot more to the story, and I don't have time to talk too much about it. But it was crazy. It was intense. Seeing billboard signs completely ripped down. We still see some of the billboard signs in Georgia, on the Georgia-Florida line, that are still, they haven't fixed them. I mean, maybe they have by now. I don't know. But I know the last few trips we've gone, like, some of them are still ripped to shreds and just torn up. Trees that were completely ripped out of the ground. Oh, it was madness. And as upset as we were with everything going on, once we got to our destination, it was like, I mean, it was like we weren't upset anymore. We were saddened for all these people that had lost their homes. I mean, Irma wreaked havoc. I know this other hurricane did too, but boy, Irma was like I don't know, that was nuts. FJ says, "Is that you playing guitar in the intro of your videos?" Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Joy says, "Don't go to Florida or take a cruise during hurricane season." Yeah, I hear you. Well, I mean, I guess, if you're out on a cruise, though, they know which way they're going. So it's like they go around, or go out of the way. But yeah, I hear you. September, in my opinion, is the best time to go to Florida. And I know you do risk hurricane, but you know what? We've been down there. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know how many. Over 20, probably. Maybe more. Probably more. And we've only run into a hurricane once. And that was Irma. And we dodged a bullet getting out of there, from the last one. I forget which hurricane that was called. But it was bad. It was bad. Ripped right through the center of Florida. FJ says, "That is great. I build and play guitars also. It sounds good. Give us some more original music." Well, thank you. Thank you very much. If you check some of the YouTube Shorts videos that I've done, they're older, but I mean, they're a lot of electric guitar. Pretty much all of my YouTube short videos. If you just go to the channel and then just scroll up. If you're on your phone, just scroll up and you'll see a bunch of them there. Yeah, I thought about kind of doing some of those again. I don't know if I would do guitar on them. I don't know. Ever since I got monetized a while back, it's hard to do music. It really is. It's hard enough for me to deal with copyright claims going through the grocery stores. And it really is because there's always music playing. So I'm always, and that's kind of what I got to do right now. Is why I got to get off here because they always have, uh, when you process a video through YouTube, it always has a processing thing that it does where it, picks out the music if it has a copyright claim. Or that's why, like in a lot of videos, if you hear me start talking louder, that's why. And like there's one that goes off when a man loves a woman today, and I know I cut it out already because I know that it would have a copyright claim. If you watch the video tomorrow, I'm in the freezer section. You will literally start hearing me talk louder. It's when I'm talking about the fries, the potatoes, and it starts going when I make like it's really loud, and it's like I let it go, but I cut it out. I cut that part out. I had to cut out part of what I was saying because I know that's going to bring up a copyright claim. Now, with your own music and stuff, that's fine, and I've never had any kind of claims on my own stuff, and I shouldn't. But there's notes that you have to be careful with, like a D minor. D minor is a big one. Like I would never. I always like if ever I play anything, I try to stay away from D minor because for some weird reason or another, you'll pick up like weird songs that you've never heard of before, but somehow YouTube's thing picks it up for something. I did one song one time. I was doing like a little solo thing, and it came up, and I was rolling off of an A minor scale, like A minor one of the scales, and the it picked up like Toto, like a song from Toto, one I never even heard of. I only know one song from Toto, and that's that uh, Bless the Rains Down in Africa. That song. That's the only song I know. It was some weird song. I don't even know what it was, and I've had that happen to me before. I'm sure anybody that plays music on YouTube has had that happen to them. All right, Eastern Sky, have a great night. It is a good song, Pinch. And I wanted to leave it in there because that would have been epic. But, can't. Excuse me. Yeah, it was raining a little bit here earlier. It wasn't an arpeggio, Madeline. I mean, it can be if you play the scale a certain way. It was like it was a pentatonic scale. Um, I don't know. I was kind of going into something like kind of medieval, like. Patch says, "Play now, Danno. I don't have my guitar in here." That's it. Yeah, yeah. That's not the song though, Tanette. I do like that song. That is definitely the only song I know by Toto. Guitars and groceries. This is home for me. What time is it? 8:38. All right, give me a second. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So I don't know if my aunt is watching right now, but she got me this cool strap. Oh, don't want to play that. See? See, somebody plays guitar, they'll know what that was. I can play mine. I actually have copyright on my music. Well, some of it. Let's get to it. I love this guitar. So this is a Yamaha, and it's one of those like trans acoustics where you get the little amp in here. That's coming right out of there's like a little amp built in here that you control with this. And yeah, that's one of my favorites right here. So that's the intro and the exit. If you want to hear, some of you guys might remember the our very first music on here. This was what I would play because we used to just kind of, when we first started out, we were doing like little traveling videos around Cincinnati and stuff like that. But this was this is what I would play in the background as I was basically just walking. And then it would just go on and on and on. You want to see something really crazy? There you go. Yeah, it's my pride and joy right here. No pun intended. And no, I cannot play. I can play that song, but no. And you know what? I don't know really how much you really have to worry about copyrights on a live show or anything, because I can always cut it out. Like if there's a copyright claim, just wipe it out and leave the rest of it. But thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I know. People always ask about me playing guitar on the live show, and I do love playing. So that tuning that you saw me put on the guitar there, that's actually a Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page used that tuning a lot. Yeah, there may be some kind of issue because that whole chord is a open D minor. So, we'll see what happens. Everything's played in D minor though. All the coolest music is played in D minor. Oh, thank you, Lori. Thank you, guys. I absolutely love this guitar. I bought this guitar. It's been a little while. I know some people were like, "Oh, why don't you get a Taylor? Why don't you get a Martin?" I'll tell you what. I must have played on 1,000 different guitars. This guitar is just absolutely amazing. It does everything. I have small hands, so it's like some of these Martins, like the neck is just so fat, and it's like hard for my hands to kind of wrap around. And I like to do like soloing and stuff. I used to be in a band. For those of you who do not know, I did used to be in a band years ago. We were called Focal Point. Never, it was fun. It was fun. Never really got too serious with it, but we did write a lot of songs. And a lot of those songs the ones that I wrote alone. I don't play the ones that we wrote together. Those are kind of in the grave. I just kind of leave those there, but still good friends with my old drummer and my other guitarist. We didn't have a bass, and that was really tough. He would basically play all the rhythm notes, and I was all over the place, but it was a lot of fun. I'll tell you, I've been playing guitar since I knew I had hands. My dad played guitar. He's left-handed. But he's left-handed that learned to play right-handed, which was very interesting. It was always fun growing up with him. I'll tell you what, there was never a left-handed pitcher that could best me in baseball. I always loved it. I know a lot of people were always like nervous, and when you got a left-handed pitcher coming up, I was ready because my dad, he was left-handed, so it was like, But anyway, yeah, he kind of got me started on it and everything when I was younger, and I there's not a day I don't pick up the guitar, so I love it. This is kind of my stress release. Like when I get back and I've finished with the video for the day or something, I'll just sit and I'll play a few notes. And I gotta say though, what I was talking about before, this is like the grand piano right here of acoustic guitars. I absolutely love Yamaha. It's what I grew up playing on. Yamaha is amazing. It's easy to play. Sure, it's not like a $5,000 Taylor or something, but I ain't got $5,000. And, it's not really about the guitar, it's about the player, and, anyway, I forgot I got it in that other tuning. Anyway, yeah, I have to set that down. I know you guys got me going now. I absolutely love this guitar. I try to, I've been a little nervous to play it, just because it's still new. I got a case for it. I want to take good care of it. But yeah, I don't know. May do some more stuff. You may hear some new tunes. I've actually done a little bit of recording lately of some newer stuff that I thought about adding into the channel. But I'd like to use my buddy's mixer or his processor thing that he has on his computer. He's really good. He was the guy that recorded all the music for us and everything. But yeah, I don't know. He always tells me, he's like, "Hey, come over and jam." So maybe we'll put something together here at some point. Oh, thank you very much, J.O. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you, 112. Please play one original. What you heard there, that country sounding song, that's an original. I wrote that. Um, that's I can't do that. I wish I could. I can play all these songs. I can play Freebird. I can play all of them. I can play the solo. I can play all three of the solos to Freebird, but I can't do it on here. I thought about that, FJ. I really have. I thought about doing a second channel and maybe just, I don't know, doing something else. You know, because a lot of the stuff, because I would want to play copyrighted music, so I probably just wouldn't monetize any of it. You know, maybe, I don't know. I thought when I first started doing YouTube, I was thinking of different things that I could do on here, and music was one of them. And I was like, well, I can have like a support channel, something, because I knew that I wouldn't be. I have had friends that were unsuccessful with doing music on YouTube because a lot of it is, you know, not original. Most of my friends don't have any original music. They play. I had a buddy who played in a Metallica cover band, and they were great. They were awesome, but they could never put anything on YouTube. They did end up paying. Um, they ended up paying someone or some company for the right for so much rights of the music. Like they could do something. I still don't think they got paid through fans though. They did. I don't think they made money off of the like ad revenue or anything. I think that went to Metallica actually. One more like for 300. All right. Wow, 300 likes. Wow, been a lot of people on here tonight. I know, yeah. It is hold on. I thought about that GMA. I did actually teach years ago. Can you just play an opener or closer to the live? It would make us really happy. I'm sure I'll do something. We want to see more of Jessica's diamond painting too. Her talent. I would love for her to do something like that. Believe me, I would. It's gonna take some careful planning for something like that. I would love for her to do that. And what I mean is like how to set it up. Jessica, I am to an extent, but Jessica is a perfectionist. If it's not absolutely perfect, it's trashed. It's done. So it's like it would have to be something where it's set up like Picasso to make her happy. The Jessica of painting. I'll tell you what, some of the stuff she does is absolutely amazing. We'll have to show off some of these things. You know, and I don't think Jessica would be, she shouldn't be embarrassed by any of this stuff. Because she does all kinds of things. Crafting, got the vinyl art. Some of that, I don't know where a lot of it is, but she's done a lot of stuff with t-shirts. She actually has made an Adventures with Danno t-shirt, which is buried somewhere in the clothes in the other room. But yeah, we are working on doing that. Yes, she is, Nancy. Yes, she is. She is very talented. Lori says, if I knew how, we should come up with a song for us all to play on our instruments and splice it together in a video. That would be cool. You can make music out of anything, Lori. I'll tell you what. So, my first, well, so buddies of mine growing up when we were teenagers, you wouldn't believe the things that we had. I had a guitar. My buddy had a bass with an amp that would not work half the time. And a buddy of mine who actually married me and Jess growing up, and we had put together this drum set. Like it's literally a broken acoustic guitar that he was using for a bass drum. A an old like uh, an old lamp, like one of those standing lamps that had like a like a middle part of it. He would use this for a hi-hat. Like it literally kind of sounded like a little bit like a hi-hat as he would kick the thing on the bass of the busted up acoustic guitar. He put a pillow in it, so a guy had more of an oomph, and then had like a snare drum that I think we found out of the trash. You know, I mean that was dedication. That was dedicated. I mean, I don't know how old we were. We were early teens, you know, but it was fun, you know. You never forget those kind of things. All right, guys. Well, I think I am going to jump off here in a minute. Normally, I would say any request, but I don't know. Here's one that we wrote in our band. Oh shoot, I forgot it's in a different tuning. You have to give me a second. So that was just one round of that. I have the words, but I'm not much of a singer, and I wasn't the one that sang in the band. But our singer was very good, and I do miss it some days. I do miss it, but hope you all enjoyed that. That name of that song was Damnation, or Damned Nation, which is kind of funny because that's kind of the subject matter of the last few days. I didn't name it, but I wrote the guitar part. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun playing for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Guys, unfortunately, I do have to get off here. Thank you all so much for joining tonight. Be safe. You know, with everything going on, again, if, you know, our hearts and prayers, our thoughts are out for everyone in East Palestine, Ohio right now with everything that's going on and everybody affected by it. You know, be safe, be careful. You know, if you live around the Ohio River, if the Ohio River is your main water source and, you know, and they're saying, well, it should be fine. Don't go by it should be fine. You know, just like I said, they're going to be, at least around Cincinnati, they have decided that they are going to shut off the intake to the water supply from the Ohio River until this passes, until they've done more tests. Test. That is what I liked to hear earlier today, was that they were testing. So that's good. At least they are on it around here, and hopefully, you know, as it keeps going down the river, if you are on the river, you know, I'd find out, make sure that, you know, if it can affect your water source at all, you definitely want to find out that information. And just go ahead. If you are way further south, go ahead and stock up on some water. It's not going to hurt nothing. Stock up on a few things. You know, it never hurts to be prepared, you know, because in these times when we never know what can happen, what's that, Darwin, anything that can happen will happen or can happen. So, you know, just always, you know, be safe. And guys, I will see you tomorrow morning in the video. Excuse me. It's an interesting video at Kroger Marketplace. Good to see the egg prices come down. Guys, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. Always remember, the adventure is out there. And thank you for putting up with me playing guitar.